Brussels, Wisconsin. The truth. The most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM. The movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4. We about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice. We want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the third hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And Truth Nation, we got the family of Donovan Mitchell, Dvontaye Mitchell. Sorry about that. My brain is, I'm trying to get it all out. But we got the family in the building. We got world-renowned attorney Benjamin Crump in the studio.
Respect, King.
We got attorney B'Ivory Lamar in the studio.
What's up, sir?
And to me, we just are dealing with another situation where a black man lost his life due to the misconduct, due to the mishandling of security down at the Hyatt.
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
Hey, right now, the emotions are heavy. Thank you so much, brother, for having the family of Dvontaye Mitchell. Because this is a conversation we have to have in our community. Thank you all for speaking truth to power. That's the most important thing, because right now there are those in our community, black and white community, who would rather we just be quiet.
Right.
And we have to disturb the peace now more than ever. We got to speak truth to power, because Dvontaye Mitchell life mattered, and him losing his life is not something that, because of your inconvenience, we're going to stay silent. Our silence would be a betrayal to this family, to his mother, Brenda, to his wife, Deasia. It would be betrayal for us to stay silent, Milwaukee. I don't give a damn about whatever conventions are happening in town.
Right.
People need to be talking about Dvontaye Mitchell and his life mattering.
Dvontaye Mitchell, he you can hear on the video. Same thing with George Floyd.
Yeah.
He was pleading for his life.
Yep.
It was ignored.
Yep.
Why?
And think about this, Tory Lowe. After George Floyd, everybody should have trained police and quasi-police authorities that you don't put knees on necks and backs, because it causes asphyxiation. It causes people to suffocate. Well, they did it even worse than that. They took his shirt, his hoodie, and put it over his head.
Yes, I saw that.
He couldn't even really talk, so much less breathe. I mean, you hear him struggling to say please and I'm sorry while his sound is muffled. And when a man is saying please help me, you got him.
Right.
Yes.
Why don't you give black people the ounce of humanity that you would give a dog?
Right. Now, we have a lot of examples of this. This is not the first time. Over and over again, we're seeing the same thing play out when it comes to black men, when it comes to being ignored, when their body is in distress, being detained or being put in police custody. And this is why I'm saying it's 2024. Where is the training? Where is the upgrading idea?
And I get in trouble when I say this, but my grandmother taught me to speak truth to power.
Come on.
Even where they're going to attack you and say that you're being controversial and that you are race baiting, because they love to say that. But, we always talk about training B'Ivory Lamar. Mm-hmm. Man, I don't think it's about training. They can detain and subdue white people just fine.
Right. Mm-hmm.
it's when it's black men in particular that they feel that it's going to be a punitive measure. Negro, we're going to put you in your place.
Come on.
And that happens far too often in America, whether it's George Floyd, whether it's Frank Tyson over in Cleveland, Ohio, and now Dvontaye Mitchell. You see the inhumanity of the situation. The hell with training. This is about bias.
Come on.
Bias. So you're saying that racist ideas played a factor because of the fact that when we talk about our black men being taken into custody, never making it to the court settings or having a chance to face a jury.
Yeah. Tory Lowe, they the judge, jury, and executioner when they're on that scene, because it's this myth of the black superhuman. It's the same thing with black women in the hospitals with maternity. They say, oh, they can endure more pain than white women.
Yeah.
You know?
Our threshold.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's this bias that, and if there's any training, it needs to be constantly reminded that, hey, your black brothers and sisters, they're human beings just like you.
Right.
But Tory, I mean, you can also look directly at the officer's actions, the off-duty officer in this video. He's telling you right on the video that it wasn't about Dvontaye resisting or causing any type of harm to anyone. He said, this is what happens when you go into the ladies' room. So he's telling you right then why he's doing what they're doing.
Right.
He's telling you right there. He didn't leave it open to question. So again, you also look, and we talked about this at the press conference today. Also, they didn't even use handcuffs. You know, I said this before that. Wow. Even as kids, when you're playing cops and robbers, when you get the subject, you put the handcuffs onto them, right?
Right.
That's the way that you restrain. That's the universal way in America of how you restrain an individual. Here, he's dangling the handcuffs like this, allowing Dvontaye to be suffocated, allowing that hoodie to remain on top of him while he's gasping for air, asking, please, please help me. Then finally, at least one of the individuals removed the hoodie so he can at least try to get some air. So again, as Attorney Crump just mentioned, a lot of these actions is not about training, some of which is just internal. You can't out-train racism.
Come on.
Right.
That's inherited.
Yep.
And there was some blacks involved in this too.
Yeah.
So, but the white security guard was the one that was the most vocal, and with the knee seemingly on video in the back of his neck.
Yeah. And that's what his mother, when I first talked to them, said, can't believe they did my son like George Floyd. Let that sink in. 4 years later.
Come on.
What have we learned, America?
What have we learned? We tried in 2020 to bring attention to this. That was the last election cycle.
Correct.
It's 2024, we in a new election cycle, and we have a similar incident. What can happen at this point? Because a lot of people are saying, what are we doing? What can be done?
Tory Lowe, I believe, as we were discussing even before we started talking on your show, it's about us saving us.
Right.
No politician is going to save us. No
I agree.
White saviors are going to save us. It's going to be us saving us. And that's why I love the community standing up with the family of Dvontaye Mitchell. They have said, it's on us. We can't say the mayor or the DA or anybody going to do it for us because it's the right thing to do. No. We going to do it. Pressure bust pipes. We ain't going to go nowhere. We going to keep showing up the DA office. Hey, the family, they got family members who bowed it. And they was like, ain't going to be no peace until we get justice for Dvontaye. And that's the mentality you have to have. Y'all do understand this here. They are banking on, Deasia, that y'all going to get tired.
Right.
They banking on y'all going to say, hey, we can't make a difference. And that's why you got to keep coming on the Tory Lowe Show, empowering the community.
The door's wide open.
His listeners of Truth Nation, they going to show up at those marches, at the candlelight vigil, at the funeral, at the DA office, at the Hyatt Regency. They going to keep showing up over and over again because when we show up, they can't ignore us.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth. That's the truth. Mm-hmm. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, my heart goes out to the Mitchell family because I tell you, I always tell families when they go through this is a journey.
Yeah.
We are now on a journey. Mm-hmm. And, a lot of times, they stretch it out, that fight. But like I said, we prepared. We done seen it. We done been through it. Mm-hmm. And y'all got the right people around y'all to get y'all through this.
And we got a precedent of how you win it. I think so much about George Floyd. Mm-hmm. How did you get justified? Constant public pressure. Yep. You fight in the court of law and the court of public opinion. And I submit you got to win in the court of public opinion to have a chance at winning in the court of law. And then Ahmaud Arbery.
Yes.
Y'all remember the young brother lynched for jogging while black?
Yes.
Very similar to what happened here. Tyree Nichols. Mm-hmm. The reason you got those charges so fast, the Negroes refused to be quiet.
Yes.
And you got to keep being a thorn in their side. Mm-hmm. They got to be like, hey, man, can we just have peace? And they got to just be so tired of us showing up every day that they finally do the right thing. And it ain't fair.
It's
Sorry, Queen, it ain't fair.
We got to work.
We shouldn't have to fight this hard.
Right.
If the roles were reversed, man, and Dvontaye had
done that
did that to the white security guard.
Come on.
Right.
Man, he would be sitting there under the jail with no bail. Miss Brenda, y'all couldn't afford enough mortgages on your house to get him out of jail. Had he done that, it would be murder with no bail. But the rules are different, man.
Hey, look, we going to run the break, and we got the Mitchell family. I want to hear from the family when we get back. Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. We in the studio with attorney Benjamin Crump and the family of Dvontaye Mitchell. And the family's demanding transparency and accountability. Transparency and accountability for what took place. They're still asking questions, the family. We have the family here in studio, and I want to know, when y'all heard this, when y'all heard what took place, what happened? What was running through your mind?
Honestly, they heard about it first. I didn't hear about it right away, and it broke me because, like, why? And to hear that he was gone and the way that he went, it's just not fair.
And Deasia, you're his wife.
Yes.
And you see this all the time on social media. Mm-hmm. You probably actually shared a lot of this. Did you ever think that the day would come that you would get a phone call that it would be your husband?
Never. Especially like this. Never in a million years. And it's just so scary because there's no way to avoid it. I try not to look at it. I try not to think about it. But every time I turn around, it's just like a slap in the face. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's like that sense of hopelessness. There's nothing I can do to even change what happened. Right. I can be a voice, and I can try to prevent it from happening to somebody else. But that's it.
We also have the mother, how can you watch this?
It was very hard for me to watch, but I watched it. I watched it, and it tore me apart when I kept hearing him say, help, help, help. No, please, please, please. I'm sorry, help. And that's all keep going through my head, and I can't get it out of my mind. I can't get it out.
I heard in the interview where you said that he had some mental issues.
Correct.
what was going on with that? Like, because a lot of people don't like to hear that narrative, but this was something that was going on.
Yes, absolutely. After my husband passed, his dad passed in 2016. That's when he went into this kind of depression stage, and he never got right from that.
When y'all see the video of this, him pleading for his life, many times when we look at stuff like that and it's our loved one, you know, it's more jolting.
Very much.
And now we're still asking what happened, what
Exactly.
took place. You said, I heard in the interview that the police did not contact the family.
No, not at all.
What's going on with that?
That's what we're trying to find out.
They never called anybody in the family.
Never. Only time I seen D-Tex was when they came out to my house.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2 ladies came out to my house on Sunday evening. And I haven't heard anything else from them.
Wow.
Yep.
You know what makes me sick to my stomach is that many times a lot of families come in here and they have the same narrative, that they have been ignored.
Right.
They don't have any answers. They don't have somebody. You would think that they would have a victim's crisis idea that works for the city to keep y'all informed. Have any agency from the city, Office of Violence Prevention, 414 Life, any of these organizations, have anybody reached out to the family to say, hey, we're going to help and provide information?
No.
Oh,
No.
wow.
Story after story.
Right.
B'Ivory Lamar, in the city of Milwaukee, where we have all of these nonprofits, all of these black faces and spaces that's supposed to be leaders. Every family that we've came across, story is the same.
Same narrative.
How is it that the family is not contacted? How is it that we have these elected officials who don't show up? When these violations happen, but these are the same people that's asking you for your vote.
Exactly.
These are the same people that's begging you to show up for them. Where are they? Like, we can no longer play the game that they care. Because family after family after family after family, and here we are in 2024, and it's election season.
Right.
The same season they said that black men don't vote, that black men don't matter, that black men don't take care of their kids, and we keep breaking the stories that they tell them, we showing them that they're a lie.
Right.
This is a man who took care of his kids. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? This is a family that's fighting for a man who stood for his family. This is a black man during a season that they saying black men don't vote, that black men don't show up. We have a black men as attorneys that's here fighting
Right.
for other black men when they say
Right.
we don't show up.
Hey, look, I'll say this. A lot of people in the chat, Attorney Benjamin Crump, a lot of people in the chat are saying, why can't we intervene when it comes to police handling, if we see a situation where there may be death or harm, why can't we intervene and try to prevent it without penalty?
The tragedy is they'll probably shoot you. That's the honest answer. Right now the Supreme Court is ratifying laws in states like Florida and Texas that say you can't video the police
Oh, wow.
when they're making arrests. And so we got a lot of reasons that we got to fight now more than ever. I'll let the future, he represents the best of the young lawyers we got, B'Ivory Lamar.
Powerful.
Man, I appreciate that, Attorney Crump. And just to piggyback on that point, video recording, as we see in the innocent bystander who happened to capture at least a minute of the Dvontaye Mitchell tragedy, you got to think about the only threat that was visible a week ago in Dvontaye's tragic situation was her video recording them for accountability.
Right.
That That was the only threat that existed. You seen a man on the ground motionless. He's not moving at all. He's only pleading for help. But they were more concerned about somebody who's 25, 30 feet away. We were there today.
Right.
We could see the distance, and we could see she was completely out of the way, not causing harm to anyone, but they were more worried about her. Somebody who's supposed to be restraining someone, and when you do so, you have to make sure you check on them periodically, make sure that they're breathing, making sure you don't need to administer aid. But they were more concerned about trying to intimidate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Trying to intimidate an innocent bystander.
Correct.
Hey.
This is the world that we live in today. This is what where we're at. So we gotta make sure that we have checks and balances here. And the Hyatt Regency is responsible. It wasn't just those individuals that were on top of Dvontaye. It was also the management staff at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. The way in which they acted, they should not only be suspended, they should be terminated as well.
I agree. I agree. And the thing is, when I see stuff like this, it just makes my blood pressure go up. Because this is not going to be the last time.
It's not.
This is we're fighting, and it seems like they're going to continue. And until we as a people come together and say enough is enough, until we say we're going to start protecting each other and be a resource for each other, it's going to continue to happen. And this is why I'm happy and excited that we have attorneys that are willing to file that paperwork, that's willing to hold them accountable in these courts. But we as a people got to be out here and hold these people accountable as well. We cannot sit back on our hands and let three or four people take this on.
And we got to show up. I would be remiss, Tory Lowe, if I ain't come on this great platform that you have and know how hard Attorney Lamar, Attorney Will Sota, other co-counsel in the matter, how hard we work every day to get matters into court.
Right.
I mean, and it's hard.
It is.
And then you have black people get the jury notification to be on jury duty, and then they don't show up.
Right.
Because we all got a role to play in this. And, you know, I think so often about Trayvon Martin with those, I mean, everybody marching for Black lives, you could make the difference when you on that jury. If you just one person in there.
Yes.
We need just one black person in the jury room changes the whole conversation. But if it's all white people on that jury who don't understand your life experiences, don't understand your background, your culture, they accept everything they see on the TV screen as a reflection of who Dvontaye Mitchell was.
Right.
And I just say, I ain't want to miss this opportunity. The hardest thing for a black lawyer to do is to go in the courtroom with his black client. And the only other thing black in the courtroom is the judge's robe and expect to get justice.
That's true.
And we watched B'Ivory Lamar go into a situation, multiple situations, and stood there in the pocket trying to make that happen. Exactly what you just said. And that's why we have to get behind people that are willing to stand on the front lines on our behalf.
Because, hey man, a black person in there can say, no, I'm not going to end this case. I don't care. We have to stay here 24 hours. Somebody going to be held accountable for Dvontaye Mitchell. And one of my mentors said this, and I know I'm speaking to the choir, talking to your audience.
Yes, so go right ahead.
Hey, man, Billy Murphy, a great black lawyer, at B'Ivory, know I'm 80 years old. He said, Crump, the reason I get excited when I see you on TV, because you're being courageous. He said, man, we got a lot of intelligent Negroes.
Right.
Man.
He said, we got a lot of articulate Negroes. He said, but what we lack is Negroes with courage.
Come on.
And if we can get a Negro who's intelligent and articulate and got courage, boy, they scared of y'all. That's why they scared of you, Latricia. They scared of Tory. That's why they scared of you. Intelligent Negroes who ain't scared. That's what they scared of. That's how you get justice for Dvontaye.
Hey, I'll say this. You know, we 100% in, all in. And I'll say this. I appreciate you for coming because with the national attention, with the way that B'Ivory Lamar and the way y'all move across this country is to be commended. And I just want to personally thank you, because I know it's not easy work.
It's not.
But it's a calling.
Yeah.
This is a calling. And many times when you're called, you don't have to like the calling. You just have to be obedient.
Exactly.
Thank you for picking up the phone. You know.
Thank
Right,
you.
And Queen, we all got to stand up with this family because there's going to be a lot of enemies of
Facts.
equality once
Of
we get the
course.
charges. We're going to stand for the security guard.
Of course.
And Deasia, Miss Brenda, they can't be standing by themselves. So
No.
I pray we keep using the platform.
I'm gonna tell you this. That's all I use my platform for is front lines.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was shocked when they asked me to do the show. I was like, y'all sure? But then we winning all the awards, so
And King,
it worked out.
Thank you for fighting for Jacob Blake family too, man, and all these families.
Hey, look, I appreciate y'all for coming through.
Wait, I would like to add something also.
Go right ahead, Queen.
I wanted to say that Dvontaye was not armed. He had no weapons.
No weapons.
There was no damage reported. No assault taken. All we want is video now.
Yes.
Video.
And
Don't say no more. Show the video.
And this is
video.
what I say is that
Go to video.
we had a situation with Joel Acevedo.
Yes.
And to this day, after the court hearing, we don't even have a copy of that video.
Nope.
See, this is why we have to keep the pressure.
Correct.
This is why we have to fight every step of the way, because we got to make sure that they know that we see you.
Yep.
We see what y'all doing.
Right.
And it got to stop. It got to stop. And I'm going to tell you right now, we are not going to let up on this. And anything that's going on, y'all already know it's an open door policy.
Yes.
When it comes to the justice and fighting for justice in our community. So, like I said, Mitchell family, we are with you 100% right here at 1017 The Truth. We need answers.
Thank you. Thank you, Queen.
Hey, salute.
Next story.
Hey, look, any last words, Attorney Benjamin Crump?
Hey, now, you got to fight for Dvontaye Mitchell as if he was your son, as if he was your husband, as if he was your brother or your nephew or your uncle, because the way things going in America, it very well may be your husband next time.
If not you.
Amen.
All right. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we're going to have more conversation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.